Endorsement deals. We see it a lot, whether it's a celebrity, influencer, content creator, TV, any media, whether it's media stations, whether you're talking TV, we're talking radio, and the likes. At the end of the day, everyone wants to make money, right? And you want to close businesses, sort your debts, pay your people, all that stuff. But what happens when some endorsements or some products and services being promoted have an ethical or moral question mark? For example, what are the benefits of gambling? Let's look at it. So you take whatever you have, you put it into this, whether it's a casino or whatever betting program or service you are using, to be able to get rich quickly. But what happens when you keep losing it and losing it? What are the mental, emotional, social issues that come out of it? You get more into debt. You get more. You have more creditors and debtors up your sleeve. Because of your addiction, thinking I'm going to win big, I'm going to win big. You're stuck. Whether you're using your phone, your laptop, or whether you're going to a betting station, or whether you have to watch a particular program, that gives you lottery numbers, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, you get hooked. What does it do to your social life? It destroys it. What does it do to your family? You put them aside, and then you're stuck in a mode of always thinking, I'm going to get the next big deal. I'm going to get the next big. You're always going to, let's say you do make it. But what do you stand to lose if you get your whatever millions that you get? Mind you, you're going to get it from this whatever company that you've gambled through. Do you really think they're going to just give you 1 million without thinking of how to get that 1 million back from you? They will tell you, we can give you good financial advisors. They will watch how you behave, your character. If you're a guy, let's say you're a guy, you have loose morals, you're a womanizer type, they'll find a good match for you, and she will drain all that money and send it back to the house. House being the company. If you're a lady who's not careful, they'll find their way. And then eventually what happens? You're drained, you're back again. You're back again. And we are witnessing a lot of people getting off or offing themselves. We have seen people being hunted down by the debtors or by the Shylocks or whoever it is they borrowed money from, or are people you really never want to borrow, you never want to ask money from. Does the cycle ever end? No, it never ends, and you get hooked and hooked and hooked and hooked and hooked until there's no going back. But are we seeing this being promoted right? Like in our country, we see it in the media stations, mainstream media in our nation, for example, we'll see it with our content creators. And despite having a moral obligation to be able to guide and ethically, people say, go find yourself the way I found it my own way. So it's more or less that your followers or your following is more or less of products to you, but they're not people whom you have an attachment, meaning the tears and the emotions that you portray in the type of content that you do is not from the heart. It's just another part of your performance as an actor. And so people will never really get to know, are you performing or is that the real person? And eventually you rob off the people who follow you or trust you a lot, and then because you don't care, you move on to the next product. And that's why it's always interesting when you anticipate a media house, a big media house, to be able to do any investigation on many people exclusive of just the betting or gambling. Why? Because what if the person they're investigating, they have a share or a stake in a particular gambling company? What happens eventually? They will suppress that information. Hence, you have to rely on the independent journalists and hope that they are not biased, because they are good independent journalists. They start well, perfect well, but somewhere along the road, some, not all, some compromise. They compromise because people start telling them, you can do bigger than this, compete with this big media house. It gets to their head, the type of friends they work with, and then the indulgence, whether they are people who love to party, drink, they love just the life, women, men, whatever way you choose to look at it. At the end of the day, they start making choices and they start getting into rooms they should never really get into and find themselves compromised. And now they have to play by the rule because someone has something, they have to do what needs to be done. Just like how we see politicians and lobbyists. The lobbyist companies will tell them, when you get into power, we are going to pay you X amount for your campaign money. You get in there, you're going to sing to our tune. You don't, we already have your family working for us, we have ABCD working for us. Accidents can happen and you won't see one of them. So they compromise. They think my family over the people. They don't care about the people they choose for my family. But did the cycle ever end? No. Do you ever ask yourself the amount of money used by politicians in their campaigns? When you compare that amount of money to the paycheck they're supposed to receive per month, exclusive of the other allowances they put. So put that figure. Okay, now let's add now the allowances. Does it still match the level and the amount they use in campaign? No. Now let's go to the types of bills and the policies they promote. Then you start to see a pattern. And this is not just in this country, something you keep to notice when you shift to other countries, same pattern always plays. Then the amount of money a politician uses for a campaign is not equal to the amount they're supposed to receive on paycheck or on their monthly or whatever other allowances they're supposed to gain because of being a political person or a public servant. Then you start to notice patterns. The thing is, we have so many products being endorsed. We have beauty products being endorsed. But the problem with some of these beauty products have cancerous effects, whether they are for women, men, or even children. Even for children, some of the diapers we are seeing being promoted, when you go do investigation, you see children are having rashes, children are having illnesses, women are having fibroids, they can't even explain where they got it from. They use a particular pad they trusted, and either it was promoted by a particular content creator, influencers, or they saw it on the news. Or let's say in a country which has been quite a prevalent issue, land, you are promised title deeds by a very good ad. So you watch, you trust, and say, oh, if it's on TV, they have done their due diligence, or the government has done their due diligence. So you go and purchase this home or this estate or take this mortgage because of what you've seen, only for you to realize that the land doesn't really exist. The contract to what you had applied for doesn't tally, and eventually you lose. And let's say they had done some buildings, you're told your time has not yet come, yet you already paid in advance. We see that with cars importation, or we can import cars for you. Let's look at some of the ads that we see even when watching different content creators, whether is a particular VPN being sold or a data brokerage saying we can have your data. But when you sit back and look, say fine, they'll say, and always good, look at those graphics they show you, even when the content creators, and do the quick graph, look at the numbers. They can show you in 6 months you can do ABCD, they can retrieve your data. Actually, if you sit down and do the math, you can actually do that job yourself. And so they give you the illusion that they're giving you the solution. And when you start now doing the actual math and start saying, fine, I'm seeing this, for example, data broker. You realize in a particular one, I won't say names, you realize there's a particular data broker that's always so much promoted, but it's connected to a particular VPN, a big one, a big name. So you ask yourself, this particular VPN is saying it's promoting to protect you from sites. And you also have a particular data broker that's interlinked, like more or less a sister company or a baby company. Then you have to ask yourself, what's the moral and ethical issue right there? The thing is, as much as we have so much content being thrown out to us so that we can be consumers and consumers and consumers, do your due diligence. Ask yourself the questions. Research. Don't be the puppet. Don't be the sheep. Don't be the one who just follows what you see. Don't trust anything just because a religious person told you there's this land, there's this part. You'll be scammed your life away. Do your due diligence. Just because it's been spoken and endorsed, do your due diligence always.